Hi friend, today I want to talk to you about food and why you could be thinking about it all wrong. Our busy consumerist society tends to encourage us to simply consume food and give very little thought to what it actually is at a deeper level and what it's doing for our health and our bodies on a daily basis. And of course, the food industry is very happy for us to just keep on eating without ever really thinking at a deeper level about what we're putting in our mouths. So in this video, I'd like to pull back the curtain on something you're already intimately familiar with, food, but perhaps offer you a perspective that you haven't really considered before. Let's go, friend. I'm Dr. Ryan Williams, your host and the founder of Growing Pure, where I help you make vegan cooking and health fast, simple, and mind-blowingly tasty. I want to talk a little bit about my experience here because I've got this all wrong in the past, and it really illustrates what can happen when you don't think about food in a critical way. So I've always had a pretty big appetite. As a kid, I ate whatever my mother put in front of me, which generally was always pretty wholesome, healthy food, so that was great. But it started to come undone when I went away to university and had to figure out my own food, all of it myself for the first time. You know, I studied really hard and I partied pretty hard as well, and good food wasn't something that I prioritized. I ate a lot of processed junk food, pizzas, burgers, bacon, cheese, loads of white bread, on, and of course I drank a lot of alcohol at that time as well. Perhaps unsurprisingly, I put on weight, my fitness was terrible, and I tended pretty often to feel tired and lethargic. But after years of living this way, I knew something had to change, and I started to look into what I could do. And I discovered the power of whole food plant-based nutrition. So my training is in organic chemistry, so I understood the science pretty well and started to get to grips with a little bit of the incredible biochemistry that happens in our bodies as a result of the food that we eat. And in particular, I learned more about food and really the dazzlingly complex array of biological effects, even what we think of as just simple foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, the effects these have in our bodies. So slowly my diet began to change as I became more intentional about what I was eating, and sure enough, my health started to turn around. Today, look, I can't pretend to be perfect with food. I still eat junk food sometimes. I still eat processed foods occasionally. I'm probably carrying a couple more pounds than I ideally should be, but my health has transformed compared to what it used to be. Why? Well, because nowadays the bulk of what I eat is highly nutrient dense, whole, unprocessed plant foods. How about you? Does my story sound relatable at all to you or perhaps to someone you know? I'm fairly certain that I'm not the only one that was experiencing health difficulties because of my diet. But in this video, I want to let you in on the groundbreaking mindset shifts that I experienced that gave me a completely changed understanding of and love for nourishing food. So whole plant foods have a powerful impact on our mind, our body, and our general health. And I want you to perhaps start to think about food in a different way to what you might be used to. So when you get prescribed a medicine from the doctor and you take a pill or you have an injection or something like that, you expect that to have a significant impact on your body, perhaps on your mental functions, on your well-being, on your general health. And it's true, one tiny pill can have that effect. You know, aspirin or paracetamol, well, that will kill your pain. Antibiotics will kill bacteria and cure your infection. Or even antidepressants might be able to elevate your mood if you're experiencing chronic depression. Now, if you were to ask a medicinal chemist, someone that develops drugs, they would tell you that many drugs are actually derived from the natural world, from plants and from fungi and from bacteria. Because these are sources, rich sources of very potent, naturally occurring compounds that can have a really beneficial effect on our health. So given that these effects are contained in one tiny little tablet, think about the effects that our food could be having, that we're having many big mouthfuls of 3 times a day, and snacks probably. Friend, every time you put food in your mouth, you have a choice. Do you choose food that is going to nourish your blood and brain and bones and organs with the nutrition that they need to perform properly? Or do you want to choose lower quality foods that will fill you up, but without providing the nutrients that your body so desperately needs? Now look, I don't want to be draconian and say you can only eat vegetables and that's it. That's not what I'm saying here at all. But I do want you to recognize the incredible power that you have in the food choices that you make, because these choices will determine your mental well-being, your performance, your mental clarity and cognition, and of course your disease risk and your chances for living a long, healthy, vibrant life, which is what I want for you. And friend, as a rough rule of thumb, the most nutrient-dense foods are whole, minimally processed plant foods. These are the foods that are going to nourish our bodies and minds, and what we should ideally be centering our diet around. Now I want you to think further about something, okay? So our bodies are made up of molecules. These are our core building blocks like proteins, fats, DNA, carbohydrates, but also smaller quantities of equally critical biological compounds, things like hormones, neurotransmitters, or even minerals like zinc and calcium and iron. Now, our bodies cannot create something from nothing. It is impossible. But these molecules that make us up have to come from somewhere, right? And it turns out there are only a very few ways that we can take in these molecules that we need to survive and to thrive. A couple of pathways might be we can breathe things in, like the oxygen in the air, or we can absorb a few things through our skin. But by far the major pathway is the food that we eat. Every molecule that allows our brains, bones, hearts, muscles, and just about everything else in our bodies to function started at the end of our forks. Let me say that again, because this is critical. Everything that makes you up started at the end of your fork. It cannot come from anywhere else. So it's up to us to make sure that we choose the right things to put on the end of our forks so that our bodies can perform at their best. Learning about the foods that I teach about here on this channel and to my students in my programs, this will allow you to make choosing these really nutritious foods not only utterly delicious, but incredibly easy as well. If you give your body the right fuel, you will look amazing, you'll feel your best, and you'll give yourself the best chances of long, precious, vibrant living. I hope this makes sense, because now you have the power with your next meal to go and nourish your body and mind with these simple, powerful plant foods. Every day, at breakfast, lunch and dinner, you have the power to nourish yourself with potent plant nutrition. And if you make that choice, your chances of adding years to your life and life to your years is much, much greater. Now, making this kind of nutrition part of your daily life can be a challenge. That's why I've created my time-saving kitchen guide. This is going to give you hours of your time back when you're preparing these foods for yourself. You're going to get my top 5 time-saving hacks that will allow you to speed through your cooking and get these health benefits quickly. If that sounds like it will be helpful to you, then please click the link in the description below. It is my free gift to you, friend, to say thank you for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. If you've enjoyed this video, I think you will enjoy my How Not to Die review, a book by Dr. Michael Greger. It's a game changer. Click right here and you will be able to watch that. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.